Today, I've chosen to talk about lighting and animated film Soul. To start, I need to explain what system of lighting I will be comparing and focusing on. To keep things simple, I will discuss three-point lighting. In standard three-point lighting, the object or person, and for the sake of this video I will be referring to the person, being filmed is first lit with a key light, which is usually directly in front or kinda to the side of the person. This causes bright illumination of the face, but usually causes high contrast shadows across the face and the body, depending on the angle of the light. This is usually fixed by a fill light. The secondary source helps to illuminate the shadows caused by the key light in order to make them less harsh. Finally, there is the backlight. This is usually placed behind the person in order to give them a slight ring of light around their figure, helping to distinguish them from the background. When all three of these lights work together, they can help make the subject being filmed look more realistic. However, in some cases, a director may want an actor to be lit without a fill light or a backlight. This results in harsh and high contrast shadows on the actor. This is called low-key lighting and is typically used in dramas, horror films, and film noir. On the other hand, when all three lights are used together, sometimes in excess, it is called high-key lighting. This is typically seen in sitcoms and comedies, that kind of thing. Now, I want to see how these ideas are applied in animated films, like Soul. Let's start with this scene of the main protagonist, Joe, walking down the street in New York City. In this scene, the source of light is the sun, which results in what could be considered a mix of low-key and high-key lighting. Firstly, in this shot, he is lit from the front, but his shadows aren't completely black because of reflected light. However, in this shot, the sun is behind him, backlighting his figure and causing some high contrast lighting. But, yet again, we see his shadows aren't totally black because the environment around him reflects sunlight back to the unlit areas of his body. In this next scene, Joe is inside an artificially lit school building. Since there are multiple sources of light compared to just a single bright source like the sun, the characters in this shot appear to be lit by multiple sources of light. In fact, I can easily point to the sources in this shot. The backlight is here, the key light is around there. However, I think in this scene, there isn't a dedicated fill light because there's really no need for one. Notice how the walls and the floor are reflecting so much light? The shadows on the figures are being filled in by that reflected light, so there's not really any need for a fill light. Finally, I want to quickly discuss the moments where Joe's soul is shown. Despite this portion of the film being highly abstract in nature, I can again point out three sources of light shown. Here is the backlight, providing a rim of purple, the fill light is causing this darker shade of blue, and the key light is over here, fading the blues to a bright white on the edge of his figure. Well, that's all the time I have for now. I really hope you did learn something new about three-point lighting and how it's applied to animated films like Soul, and how it can kind of cause things to be similar and yet very different compared to real life. Thank you for watching.